What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Doghouse. As you can see, we're making some improvements here in the Doghouse studio. New microphone, new mixer to run everything. Hopefully we'll get some better audio for the videos. All right, now back to the reason why we're all here, our Cleveland Browns. This episode, we're still playing a little bit of catch-up because of our late start, so we're going to call this episode the Biennial Front Office Makeover. That's right, that's what we do every 2 years, isn't it? We get anybody in Berea who has an office, we gather them up, we tell them to put all their stuff in a box, and then we kick them to the curb, right? I mean, that's how it goes. Haslam's came in, they bought the team, they said we need to practice patience, we need to practice continuity, and get everything established. And then every 2 years, they fire everybody. No, really, how much sense does that make? We need to practice patience and establish continuity. Let's fire everyone. And then expect to win. I don't think it works like that. So this time around, I understand why they did it. They made a big mistake, I think, in bringing in Sashi Brown to run things last time around. Sashi's a lawyer. He went to school for law. He is not a football general manager. He does not know football. He does not know football players. Basically, what he did was he came in here, he compiled a whole bunch of draft picks, and then he wanted to play the odds and say, you know, if I've got 14 in 1 year, I've got to hit on one of them, right? That's a good ratio. One good player out of 14. That's how you lose football games. So instead of playing the odds, we went out and we got ourselves a real general manager in John Dorsey. Dorsey was drafted in the 4th round in Green Bay in 1984, had a 5-year NFL career before he had a knee injury that ended his playing days. He returned to Green Bay in 91 as a scout and moved himself up to director of college scouting in the time that he was there. In 99, he took the position of director of player personnel with Seattle and then ended up as director of football operations in Seattle by the time he left. 2013 through June 2017, he was in Kansas City as the general manager there. Now, if you all remember, before Dorsey took over in Kansas City had really not that great of a track record either, and he was really able to do a lot of good things for them before he ended up leaving. Now, we knew that Dorsey was going to be a hot commodity back in December when we knew that we wanted a new general manager, so the Haslams went out and they got him early. This was good for 2 reasons. One, we didn't have to do a whole lot of coaxing because Dorsey was still looking for a job, and who wants to go into the rat race of trying to get a job when there's a bunch of GMs out there for the grabs? And 2, Dorsey really got a look at the, I don't want to really call us a football team last year because we didn't do a whole lot of good football, but he got to look at what he had to work with here before the season was over and got a jump start on things. Another good thing about Dorsey is because of all the experience he has and all the different positions he's held, he is well respected around the league, and he does know talent when he sees it. He knows good football players when he sees them. So hopefully we're going to start getting some talent through the doors here, and he'll be able to get things turned around. Next up on the front office makeover list, we have Elliot Wolf. He will be our assistant general manager. He spent basically his entire life around the NFL. Elliot's father, Ron, was involved in the NFL for a very long period of time as well. He started out as a scout for the Oakland Raiders from 63 to 74. He was the vice president of operations for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers from 76 to 78. He was a general manager of the Green Bay Packers from 1991 to 2001. And in January 2015, Ron Wolf was inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame for all the great work he did during his career. So Elliot has literally grown up in the NFL. He said he's been going to combines since the mid-90s. He's been watching players, studying what his father has been doing. He is going to be an outstanding addition to the front office. He attended the University of Miami. He was with the Green Bay Packers from 2004 to 2017. He did start as a pro personnel assistant and left the director of football operations. He's going to be working hand in hand with Dorsey, and the two of them, I think, are going to make an outstanding team, and they really know what they're looking for when it comes to new players. Last but not least on the list here, we have Alonzo Highsmith. He is going to be our vice president of football operations. Highsmith also attended the University of Miami. He did play in the NFL from 1987 to 1992. And having been a former player, Alonzo Highsmith is well regarded and respected around the league by both players, coaching staffs, and front offices alike. He spent many years in the NFL working with players, working alongside players and with coaches. He will be helping out the scouting department tremendously. And those gentlemen are the ones we're going to be referring to as the Big Three. Those are the guys who are going to be running basic day-to-day operations around the Browns facility and improving our team for hopefully years to come. Now, the reason Jimmy and Dee Haslam went out and they decided it was time for the new front office was we're not winning football games. It's plain and simple. If you're not winning football games, you're losing your fan base. Every time we lose a little bit more of our souls, and let's be honest, the Browns aren't the most popular team in the world anymore. If you want to sell seats to make money, you have to put a winning product on the field that people can enjoy to come watch every week. Basically boiled down to money. They need a good team. They need a good team now. We went out and we found a bunch of guys who they felt can put together a winning team, and we're going to turn this thing around. I mean, these guys are under the understanding, as usual, that if they don't do this, they're out on the streets as well. And in more current news, the Browns opened up their rookie minicamp this week. Players reported to Berea on the 4th. This is going to be the first time the players get to look into the playbook, start studying up on plays, and a little bit of a chance for them to translate what they're learning in the books onto action on the field. This is also an opportunity for the 13 undrafted free agents that we picked up after the draft to prove to the team that they are worth keeping around for training camp this summer. And the Browns did end up signing 3 of our draft picks already. Number 33 overall, Austin Corbett, offensive lineman. Number 175 overall, Damian Rantley, wide receiver. And also number 188 overall, Simeon Thomas, defensive back. All 3 players have signed contracts and are ready to show up for training camp this summer. Well, that's it for this week's episode, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. If you like what you saw, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe below. And we'll see you next week in the doghouse. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the doghouse. I'm clipping. F's. And Simeon Thomas from... if you liked what we saw...